All right, here I am. Here I'm is. You know what the biz is. It's time to break on through. Hello, everybody. You're coming in hot and heavy, hot and heavy. Clintonzilla, I'm drinking some good old down home Clintonzilla chamomile tea right now. That's to prepare me for a short night's sleep. Let's see who's in here with us. Todd, Adam Wolf, John Adam, Sean Mosher, Amy Lynn. That chamomile went down the wrong way again. All right. How do you like the new view? I tried something new tonight. Don't know how I like it. Yes, Bobby G, with stevia. Oh, here you come. Walt Wheat, Morticia, May, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, I ain't heard from you in a while. Terry Myers. Scott. Let's see. Paul Robinson. Brian Dunlap. Dale Elmore. Brad Mullins. Man, they're all here. Everybody's here. Nothing but a party, y'all. Nothing but a party. Nothing but a party. Nothing but a party. All right. Well, man, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now. I've got you up where I can see your responses and your questions. If you can think of something that you want me to talk about that won't take up the entire program, go ahead and start doing that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all right now. I have nothing. Nothing. Work has been a bear. And you know what's going on there? I wish I was already sitting in my underwear. I still got on my everything I got from my working class hero get up. And I think I'm probably going to end it a little early so I can get under a little bit of water. So that the First Lady don't think a damn warthog has crawled up into bed with her when I go in there. Okay, what's happening here? An ad. I don't like these ads. Hey, John, you know, I could be fooling you. Now, Brad Bowen brought up something, recording Southern hostility stories. Man, you know what, Brad? That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get out my announcements that I have. And Clintonzilla, I saw you say something I'm going to bring up too. Southern hostility recordings. All right. This Friday, if you happen to be in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, you need to go to the Milestone. Because my close personal friend, Brian Dunlap, and his rockin' teenage combo of a band called October, get it? It's October. His band is called October. The Milestone is having a Halloween type party or something that they have bands go on stage as other bands. I don't know what that entails. Maybe Maybe Brian can tell us something on here. I mean, does that mean y'all going to do the whole act, or you just being yourselves, doing our songs? But he's going to do a whole set of some good old foot stomping, heel clicking, finger snapping, ANTiSEEN ditties. He picked some good ones too, some kind of off the beaten path ones in my opinion. But that's this Friday, October 27th, at the Milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina. Speaking of the Milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina, you will get one more chance in 2023 to see ANTiSEEN. We'll be playing the Milestone just like October's going to be doing on Friday. We'll be playing on Friday, December 8th. As part of the Milestone's 54-year anniversary. If you got a club that has been in the same building for 54 years, especially in Charlotte, what do you do? Well, you call the longest running rock and roll hoochie coo merchants that you can find. And who is that? Well, it's ANTiSEEN. So that's the deal. Herbert Jerome, what do you mean take 2 vacation days? Man, you usually get off work, drive 14 hours, see a show, and then drive 14 hours back. You do 36 hours worth of driving in a 24-hour time period. I don't know how you do it. Let's see, Brian said something here. Let's see, or no. Oh, okay, never mind. They said they're just being themselves. Some bands dress up. I mean, I don't want to be disparaging to your band, Brian, but actually, I don't know if y'all could afford to shop in some of the boutiques that I get some of my stage attire in, such as Walmart, Target. You know, so yeah, I think it's best y'all just be yourselves. Oh, I got 40-year anniversary posters on the Big Cartel page now. I got a few left. Isn't that a beautiful poster? I'm going to tell you who all was involved in this poster. The artist who did this fantastic logo of the 40-year Buffalo is Mike Harper. The layout man is my main Mike Cook. The guy who got the posters done and handed them right to me is Johnny Fink of Missing Fink Records. So good to get you one. I mean, I'll keep selling them to the route. I know a few people have already contacted me. Hey, man, you got to hold me. But, you know, all right, people want to know what's going on. That people are texting me, calling me, emailing me, instant messaging me. They're sending cards and telegrams. I'm getting thousands a day. People saying, they're using my catchphrase back on me. Jeff Clayton, you got to tell me something. All right, well. They want to know what's going on with Long Hair Weirdo Records. I put up a teaser the other day. A little project that me and my main Bobby G have going on, and it's going to be something spectacular. I've talked about it on here before, but that just shows me y'all don't pay attention. You don't pay attention to what I say. I'm going to tell you what it is, though. But first, I'm going to tell you how it's going in order. You all know that Long Haired Weirdo Records number 001 was Scott Savage Memento Mori 7-inch. I still have plenty of the blue left. The red is dwindling down, so order them up. My second one, I think. Man, I might get the order wrong here. I don't know. Oh, my second one was The Streets, which was Scott Savage's most popular band, live at the Milestone from 1984. Only 100 copies made. And I'm down to the last few. I got a stack about like this of those. So. Number 3, Callie Hellstrom, The Wolf Within. May not be some people's cup of tea, because this is a cup of tea, but from what I understand from the people that are getting it, man, people are really digging it. People that didn't expect to are really digging it. I think it's really good stuff, and I think you should give the man a chance and buy his CD either from me or from him. Callie Hellstrom. Number 4, The Streets Living Theater debut LP, studio LP, with a couple of bonus tracks, and I am very proud of this one. And I just wish I knew a way to push it properly to the right people that are into this kind of stuff, and because if more people discovered it, I know they'd really like it. You know, everyone takes an easy way out and says The Doors, but it's a little more than that, and I think it's very Joy Division-esque. So, you know, if you have to compare, I don't like that comparison stuff, but if you have to compare, that's what I would say. But that. All right, it looks like we're freezing up here. Are we back? Looking blurry. I think I'm still frozen. Are we back, Bobby? All right, I see me moving now. Okay, I guess we're back. All right, so number 5, Long Haired Weirdo Records number 5 is going to be a CD of a band. I've pushed them on here tons. I love them. It is a best of. It's called A Fine Stew. The best of self-made monsters so far. And when I have those in hand, when I have them in hand ready to let them unleash on the public, I'm going to have Eddie Ford himself right here with me again. You saw us last time. We had a great show with Eddie on, and I'm looking forward to that. We're getting ready to put the finishing touches on that CD right now. But the real question is, all right, what's that piece of gray vinyl you were showing us? Well, I gave you a tease. I've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again right now. I'm going to lay it on the line, tell you what it is, let you know that there's some biz going on. We're talking about a 300 copies only. A split 7-inch single. No, the record's number 6. I don't know. I had the number put on it, Bobby G. It's number 6. And but it is a split single with Joe, Buck, Yourself, and Mighty Joe Young. How can that be, you may ask? Well, the Joe Buck side is going to be his magnificent show closer. Bitter is the Day. The B-side is a soundscape put together by Malcolm Tent, outlined by me a little bit, but it was Malcolm's talent that brought it all together. It was Bobby's idea of a lot of Joe Young's greatest feedbacks and stage banter. Now, once everything is like, I think the records are pretty much on the way to me now. But we got cover. We got to get covers. You got to have a cover. We got some fantastic artwork. Bobby G has supplied the Joe Buck side. I'm gonna tell you, the first time I saw it, I thought it was amazing, and it is. And I can't wait till you all get to see it. And B side, another piece done by my main Mike Harper. You're going to love it. Oh yeah, and there is some Joe Buck in the Joe Young soundscape. What do you think of that? That's incredible. Maybe one day when I have Malcolm on here, or he can talk about it on Tim Talks Tunes, which will be on tomorrow night, and on his page at 7 p.m. Maybe we'll talk about that and talk about every single piece in it. And how he put it together and all this. But here's what's going to happen. As soon as the covers are done, not done, but the artwork is done and sent off to the printing place to get the cover done, we are going to put on the pre-sale, of which there will only be 100 gray vinyl. That's what the pre-sale is going to be for, the gray vinyl, the 100. And then after that, when we have them in hand, the remaining 200 will be on black vinyl. What do y'all think of that? It's pretty good, huh? Mondo, I saw Mondo on here and asked the question, how did I get the moniker of the long-haired weirdo? Well, man, let me think here. Sometime in the 90s, '91, '92 or so, I got a t-shirt of David Allan Coe at one of his shows, and it was a great shirt. Had his picture on it, real high contrast Xerox, and it had David Allan Coe, and it had long-haired redneck going down the side, and it had song titles at the bottom. Well, not to be one-upped, I did my own t-shirt, Jeffrey K. Clayton, but I couldn't be the long-haired redneck. He's the long-haired redneck. So I made myself the long-haired weirdo. I gave myself that moniker. Even though I'm not really as much of a weirdo as some of the people I see out here. Bobby G, you are more than a small part of this project. You are the man that got the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rolling. Jay and the Techniques. Look it up. So, Southern Hostility recording. It was very It was very odd how that all came about. Um, it was the Southern Hostility lineup, of course, with it had see, the lineup then was myself and Joe Young, Tom O'Keefe, and Steve Sadler. And I'm thinking we recorded sometime in '91. And I remember we, like a bunch of fools, did it during the summer. And we did it in my mother's basement. And you might say, well, that sounds like a good arrangement. Man, let me tell you something. This is a half basement. It was not a good arrangement. We built makeshift vocal booth with shower doors. Glass shower doors. Plexiglass and stuff, and we made like a vocal booth. At my mom's house, there was the stairs would come down like this, and then turn and go down like that. Steve Sadler was shoved up all the way under the staircase, and we had soundproofing in front of him. I know you listen to the record, you're like, damn, y'all had soundproofing? But I'm going to tell you what caused all that white noise that I found out later that people were very, very fond of. And I always thought it was going to be quite a detriment to that record. But I'll tell you what happened. We get down into the basement, and the wiring of our gear mixed with the wiring of my mom's house did not get along very well. There was all kind of all that kind of shit going on the whole time. So just on a lark, we tried hooking Joe up to a wireless unit. Keep in mind, he's 2 feet away from the amp, but he's playing a wireless unit. Well, we got rid of all that clicking and popping and buzzing, but it was replaced with a sound that sounded like an old television station going off the air. We're like, you know what? Fuck it. And it was very, very hot. We couldn't have the air conditioner going because the air conditioner ducts were under the house, and it picked that up. When you hear how Southern Hostility sounds nowadays, I'm just wondering why we even bothered with soundproofing, cutting the AC off, anything. It's just noise, man. But my mom had to leave, and she got mad because we made her leave her own house while we recorded. And here's something we did that was just very dumb. We booked a show on Friday night at the what was that place called? Man, I cannot remember the name of it right now to save my life. But it was it was cat a corner from Cinema Blue, the big porn theater, over on the plaza. It was an all-ages club. It turned into an all-ages club. We played, they had bands there and stuff. And we booked the show there, and we got Steve Sadler to put up all the recording gear, recorded the show. We played 2 sets that night. We played 30 or 40 minutes, took a break, came back on later, played another 30. We played all the songs we were going to record the next day to get some practice. And our thing was, you know what, we do a show, man, and we get the blowout. Brian came through the blowout. And we blew it out. And we figured our reasoning for this was, well, we do 2 shows in one night. And that way when we go to record, we'll already be kind of, road torn. Voices warmed up, got playing and everything. And so some of us went to London, which is outside of Albemarle, and went to my mom's house and slept, which we didn't sleep very long. So I had no sleep, hardly. And my voice was, of course, ragged out from doing 2 fucking shows in one night. And then, so we're there, and man, it's Saturday. We started early, and we had to go. We did Saturday. We did Saturday and Sunday, and all day Saturday, electrical storms were coming through, and we'd have to stop. We had to unplug everything, so that in case it struck nearby, it wouldn't fry all the equipment. It was rented equipment, so we didn't want to have to buy it, and so we're getting shocked on everything. It's miserable down there, man. We're covered in slimy sweat, and tempers started to flare. And of course, it ended up mainly being between me and Joe. And once he recorded his last song, we were going to do overdubs and stuff, and he just says, "That's it, I'm done." I said, "Well, you got to come back tomorrow." He goes, "Man, I ain't coming back tomorrow. I ain't doing this." Stormed up the stairs, and that was it. He left his guitar and amp, thankfully, so Tom and I did any and all overdubs that happened, but some of the stuff we did, man, when it came to the mix down, the stuff was not brought out, and I was very disappointed. I'm very disappointed about that to this very day. But, man, it became, how some things are a labor of love? This was a labor of hassle. And when we called it Southern Hostility, man, nothing but hostility was happening down in that basement. There was very little joking around, being happy about what we'd done and all. It started to really get to us quickly. Maybe Tom and Steve, one day we can have one of them on here and bring that up again and see what their memories are of it. I don't remember it being very pleasurable. Todd Goss was there with us, our old sound man, and but we ended up making one of the records that would be associated with our name for the rest of our career. Now, I guess it wasn't all bad. But I mean, there's more stories about that record, all the way from taking the cover photo to the back photos. To, I had no idea. I think we go with it. Ooh, working class. Oh, that good tea's working on me. But I think that was the first time I was ever allowed to create a full color cover. I'll talk about that some other time, but yeah, that brought on a whole new challenge, man. Well, I see what y'all are saying. I mean, I guess I'm making it sound a little worse than it was. I mean, I'm sure we had some laughs because I remember while they were doing some stuff with the music and I was waiting, I was upstairs watching South Pacific on TV, that movie. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger in a crowded room. All right, now let me go down there and record Watch the Bastard Fry. You know the electric chair sound? We just took a guitar chord, put it in the amp, and went. At the very end of Self-Destruction, you hear a sound that sounds like two bottles being broken in a bucket. Well, it was two bottles being broken in a bucket. Except what had happened is Tom and I had Joe's guitar. Tom had on his Rickenbacker bass, the one he played at the anniversary show. And we went, the self-destruction, and we hit that last boom, and it was we were both feeding back. But when we got into the mix down, and I don't know how this passed, I don't know what went on, but the damn bucket, the damn bucket sound with the bottles being broken in it, was way louder than the guitar chord that Tom and I hit at the end. And man, I'm still not happy about it. I'm not happy today about that. But oh my goodness. We got some more records out of it though. We recorded the Psycho Killer, the A side and the B side of Heavy Mud. That was recorded the night before at that show we did before we went to record Southern Hostility. And I've still got those master tapes. Actually, I think TKO has the entire master tape collection. And there's talk of us one day getting all those shows. There's an Eat More Possum lineup show, an entire show recorded on reel to reel. There's those Southern Hostility, both sets. We have every bit of it. And I don't know why we didn't use more over the years, other than the fact that because Steve was telling us that the recording deck he was using had some kind of, oh man, excuse me y'all, but it had some kind of noise reduction on it that you had to have that deck in order to get all that stuff to play back properly. And I was talking to Rainey about that, but he says, you know, with all the guys we know in studios and stuff that work for the label, he says he just believes that the technology is now so that they can probably override that kind of stuff. So I hope so. I would love to hear what all that sounds like. I don't know if we'd never used it because it was such a bad performance, or because we didn't know how to get that deck back to use it to pull anything from it, other than Heavy Mud. Brian Dunlap says October might record a cover of Heavy Mud. What do you mean might? That sounds like something. That sounds like a surefire knock down, drag out, rock and roll hoochie coo party in the street to me. But what do I know? Y'all, I am going to officially be 60 years old in a few weeks. Like, not just saying it and chest beating about it. I will be, provided I make it to that. But isn't that weird? It's weird for me. I don't feel bad about it. I can't believe can't believe I lasted 59, to be honest with you. But here I'm is. But Tom O'Keefe says Heavy Mud is Steve's finest ANTiSEEN moment. Tom O'Keefe, how come you couldn't drive over to Break On Through Studios and do a little reminiscing? Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that, Hoss. Well, I guess that's about it for tonight. Ended up being a pretty good talk session anyway, didn't it? Even though I had nothing planned at all. It's not always going to be this way, y'all. Oh, boy. I don't know if I like this setup. I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I don't know. I probably will. Who knows? But as always, I thank every one of you for coming and sitting with me for a little bit. Turned out to be 40 minutes tonight. So, I hope y'all have a great week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And it looks like we're losing that signal again, so I may freeze up, but thank you. And I'll see you next week right here on Break On Through.